On the sun-scorched savanna, a leopard silently tracked a lone jackal. Eyes cold, body tense with power, it waited patiently for the perfect moment. When the jackal stepped into range, the leopard struck like lightning. One swift pounce, a fatal bite to the neck, the jackal never had a chance. In seconds, the hunt was over. The leopard grabbed its kill and quietly disappeared, leaving only a faint trail of blood fading into the heat of the wild. Spotting a wild boar carcass in the dry grass, a pack of jackals moved in, hoping for a free meal. But they didn't know the real predator was watching from the shadows. Suddenly, a leopard burst from the bushes, growling and attacking the intruders without warning. What followed was a fierce fight, snarls, lunges, and chaos. With raw power and cold precision, the leopard drove the jackals away, securing its meal and keeping the scavengers at bay. On the scorching desert floor, a wild dog lay sound asleep under the burning sun, unaware of the danger closing in. From a distance, a leopard moved in silently, each step light as air, eyes locked onto its careless prey. Once within striking range, it lunged without hesitation. The attack was precise, hitting a weak spot. In seconds, it became the latest kill of the silent predator, the leopard. In the thick bush, a wild dog curled up under a tree, fast asleep in the midday heat. Not a sound, not a clue. But the calm was short-lived. A leopard, catching the scent of prey, crept in each step light as air, eyes locked on the sleeping target. Then, in a flash, it struck. The wild dog had no time to react. Trapped in the leopard's jaws, it was dragged away in seconds. Starting with the hyena, with its eerie laugh and relentless hunting instincts, it is one of the most fearsome animals in the wild. Although not as strong as lions or leopards, the hyena stands out for its intelligence and ability to hunt in packs. They succeed in hunting through coordinated tactics, focusing on weaker prey or stealing from other predators. However, when facing the leopard, a powerful and agile animal, the hyena faces a significant challenge. The leopard, with its perfect hunting skills and incredible speed, makes it difficult for the hyena to attack or steal from it. In these encounters, the leopard can easily overcome the hyena due to its strength and solitary combat abilities, forcing the hyena to hesitate and retreat. The leopard clamped tightly onto the prey and quickly climbed up the tree, escaping from the scavengers below. However, as it reached a high branch, a careless mistake caused the prey to slip from its jaws and fall to the ground. Immediately, a hyena waiting below rushed in, snatching the carcass and carrying it away. The leopard could only watch in astonishment and helplessness as its prize slipped out of reach. With lightning speed, the leopard suddenly charged, stealing the prey right from under the hyena's nose. Caught off guard, the hyena could only growl in frustration as the leopard swiftly grabbed the carcass and climbed up into the tall tree. On the safe branches, the leopard leisurely enjoyed its feast, keeping well out of reach of the scavengers below. The cheetah is the speed king of the savanna, known for its slender frame, long legs, and the ability to hit 100 km/h in just seconds. It hunts in open grasslands where speed and precision are key to survival. With a perfect burst, its prey is caught beneath the claws of the fastest cat on earth. But if the cheetah hunts with speed and light, the leopard hunts from the shadows. No noise, no chasing, just a silent approach from above or through the brush, followed by a deadly bite. With a strong build and superb climbing skills, the leopard can even drag its kill up into a tree to avoid thieves. Two big cats, two very different strategies, both born hunters. One, a living arrow tearing through the plains. The other, a quiet ghost in the deep forest. On the vast, unforgiving savanna, a heartbreaking clash fueled by raw survival instincts unfolded. A leopard silently approached, then suddenly lunged at a weak cheetah cub that had just wandered from its mother's side. Without hesitation, the mother cheetah leapt forward, growling fiercely, throwing everything she had into protecting her young. But the leopard didn't back down. With chilling calm and overwhelming strength, it shifted its focus to the mother, the only obstacle in its path. A fleeting but painful moment that revealed the harsh truth of the wild, where even the sacred bond of motherhood can be broken by nature's ruthless law. In the dry wilderness, a leopard found itself in a dangerous trap, suddenly surrounded by two cheetahs closing in from both sides. With lightning speed and bold coordination, the cheetah pair surged forward like two living arrows, launching relentless attacks to overwhelm their lone opponent. Caught off guard, the leopard backed away, growling defensively in a losing stance. But with the tightening circle and overwhelming force from both attackers, it had no choice but to submit, lying still in defeat in an uneven showdown. My legs had dropped out from under me because they had creeped into a helpless posture. It was as if I were fussing or fighting. Finally, we have the cheetah. In the wild, these two big cats share the harsh African savanna, but they survive using completely different strategies. The cheetah is unmatched in speed, going from 0 to 100 km/h in seconds. With a slim build and long legs, it's a blur of motion and a nightmare for weak prey. But speed isn't everything. In the shade, the leopard takes a different path. It does race across the grasslands. It hunts with deadly patience, moving silently and striking at the perfect moment. One is lightning, the other is a shadow. They both hunt. They both live on the edge. But when they meet, which wins, speed or stealth? In the dry desert, a rare chase breaks out between two top predators. A cheetah, fast and fearless, suddenly charges at a leopard. The leopard gives up the area to the faster, bolder rival. On the dry ground of the wild, a leopard finds itself in sudden danger. Two cheetahs appear from opposite directions. With bold speed and teamwork, they launch a rapid attack. They try to overpower the lone predator. Caught off guard, the leopard growls and backs away. Surrounded and outmatched, it has no choice but to surrender and stay down. Out on the wild savanna, a brutal fight for survival unfolds. A leopard suddenly charges at a weak cub that strayed from its mother. The mother leaps in, risking everything to protect her young. She growls and stands her ground against the attacker. But the leopard doesn't back off. With cold precision and greater strength, it shifts focus to the mother. It strikes hard and brings her down. The fight is short but ruthless. It's a harsh reminder that in the wild, even a mother's love can't always beat a predator's power. roar shatters the silence of the savanna. Two leopards suddenly clash in a fierce fight. Their spotted coats flash through the tall grass. Claws slash the air, and powerful strikes echo all around. It's a fight for territory, food, and the right to survive. On the vast African savanna, the wildebeest is a common prey, but far from an easy target. With a strong build, powerful legs, and impressive speed, plus the discipline of moving in herds, they pose a real challenge to any predator. But the cheetah is a worthy opponent. With near instant acceleration and speeds up to 120 km/h, the cheetah can close the gap in a blink. They usually target the weakest in the herd, where a single slip can mean death. Each chase between cheetah and wildebeest is a heart-pounding clash where speed, strategy, and survival instincts collide in every fleeting second. And in those moments, nature reveals the full intensity, precision, and cruelty of the survival game. Under the burning desert sun, where heat waves blur the view, the cheetah kept its sharp gaze, quickly spotting a young wildebeest separated from the herd. Without hesitation, it took off like lightning, slicing through the air and leaving a trail of dust rising from the scorching sand. In a split second, it closed in on the prey. From behind, the cheetah launched a lightning-fast pounce, knocking the young wildebeest to the ground in panic. Despite its struggles, the small animal was completely overpowered, unable to escape the fatal bite of the lightning-fast predator. The hunt ended quietly and decisively, no hesitation, no mistakes. That's the sheer power of the cheetah, the fastest animal on Earth, where every stride is a perfect blend of instinct, force, and the ruthless coldness of unforgiving nature. Buffaloes are among the toughest warriors of the African savanna. With massive bodies, strong, curved horns like steel shields, and unshakable herd unity, they stand their ground when threatened. Instead of fleeing, they turn to fight, sparking confrontations that even the fiercest predators think twice about. But hidden in the quiet brush, the leopard is always watching. It doesn't charge head-on, it stalks patiently, waiting for that brief moment when a calf strays or falls behind. That's when its killer instinct kicks in. With one precise pounce and a fatal bite to the throat, this small cat can bring down prey many times its size, then haul the kill up a tree to avoid scavengers. One side has brute strength and fearless loyalty. The other, cold precision and lightning-fast reflexes. The clash between leopard and buffalo paints a perfect picture of the wild, brutal, majestic, and a place where only the strong, in their own way, survive. Perched on a low branch across the vast savanna, the leopard stays perfectly still, blending into the thick green leaves like a shadow. Below, a herd of buffalo has surrounded the tree, their eyes sharp and bodies tense, growling in defense after spotting the leopard's failed ambush on a calf. From above, the leopard watches anxiously, its heartbeat rising with every movement of the herd. As the buffaloes shift their attention and a small opening appears, the leopard leaps from the branch, slipping through teeth. The leopard creeps silently toward the herd of buffalo, its eyes like daggers, locked onto a young calf standing alone at the edge, the perfect target. It lowers its body to the ground, every muscle tense, ready to strike with a deadly leap. But just then, a faint sound breaks the silence, shattering the deadly calm. As if triggered by instinct, the herd instantly shifts into defense mode. The adult buffalo charge forward with force, horns lowered, fiercely protecting their vulnerable member. Sensing danger, the leopard springs into retreat, leaping onto a nearby tree and climbing high into the canopy, vanishing into the leaves. Another hunt failed by mere seconds. Hidden deep in the tall, thick grass, the leopard quietly watches a herd of buffalo grazing under the savanna sun. It doesn't rush its focus, locked on a young calf standing alone at the edge, weak and vulnerable. Softly, almost soundless, the leopard creeps closer, preparing for a lightning-fast strike. The upgraded troop approached, and aided by light. But just as it's about to pounce, a nearby adult buffalo spots the movement. Without hesitation, it lowers its head and charges like a storm, sharp horns aimed at the predator. Caught off guard, the leopard has no choice but to leap up and retreat into the brush, abandoning the ambush. The hunt ends before it begins, thanks to the buffalo's sharp instincts and fierce loyalty to the herd. Finally, the hedgehog, with its sharp spines and the ability to curl into a protective ball, is a superb defender. However, when facing the leopard, a swift and skilled predator, the hedgehog will face a great challenge. Although the hedgehog's spines can be difficult to deal with, the leopard, with its precise attacking skills, can easily find weak spots and overcome the hedgehog's defenses. By the roadside, a family of hedgehogs moved slowly, searching for food. Suddenly, a leopard appeared, approaching with a cold, predatory gaze. It quickly targeted the young hedgehog, a small prey, seemingly easy to devour. However, the father and mother hedgehogs immediately reacted. Both charged forward, enveloping their young in a living wall of spines, an impenetrable defense. Each strike from the leopard was blocked by hundreds of sharp spines. The hunger drove the leopard to become reckless, but the retaliatory strikes from the hedgehog's spines caused it to be wounded repeatedly. Gradually, its strength waned, and the leopard had no choice but to retreat, abandoning the meal it had once thought would be easy. Once again, resilience and family bonds saved the tiny life in the deep forest. In the Sahara Desert, under the scorching heat, two leopards wandered, searching for prey. This time, their target was two tiny hedgehogs. As the leopards moved closer with the intent to attack, the hedgehogs immediately huddled together, erecting a wall of sharp spines for defense. The leopards repeatedly pounced lightly, testing for weaknesses in the defensive barrier, but the dense and sturdy spines kept them from getting close. In the end, the leopards were left powerless, watching as the prey slowly retreated into the scorching desert heat with a look of regret in their eyes. The leopard, desperate from hunger after a long period of unsuccessful hunting, recklessly attacked a hedgehog. Unaware of the danger, it used its paws and teeth to strike, only to be pierced deeply by the sharp spines of the hedgehog. In pain, it withdrew, then returned with renewed determination to kill the prey despite its injuries. The hedgehog's spines have tiny barbed tips that easily penetrate but are incredibly difficult to remove, making it impossible for the leopard to dislodge them. Though the hedgehog didn't shoot its spines, just a simple touch causes them to burrow deep into the predator's flesh. Many predators having experienced this danger tend to avoid hedgehogs. Pierced through the tissues and unable to handle the damage, the leopard suffered excruciating pain. Although it eventually killed the hedgehog to eat, a few days later, it was found dead from infection and exhaustion. A tragic end for a predator defeated by its tiny prey. Baboons are clever warriors of the savanna, living in large, disciplined troops with constant vigilance. They're known not only for their long snouts and sharp canines, but also for their strong teamwork in protecting one another from lurking dangers. But in the wild, threats sometimes come from the most unexpected places, like the peaceful treetops. Leopards, with their signature golden coat covered in black rosettes and unmatched climbing skills, are one of the most dangerous predators to baboons. Silently closing in before launching a lightning-fast attack that leaves little chance for escape. When a leopard spots a troop of baboons foraging near a tree's base, it marks the start of a deadly game. With steps as light as the wind gliding over grass, the leopard silently closed in on its prey. Its cold eyes locked onto a baboon busy digging through the dirt, completely unaware of the danger. When only a few steps remained, the leopard suddenly surged forward, a burst as fast as lightning. The baboon let out a single terrified scream before being taken down by a precise and ruthless pounce. It all happened in an instant. Without hesitation, the leopard pinned the prey with swift and calculated force. In the harsh wild where survival belongs to the strong and clever, the leopard once again proved itself as a top-tier predator, silent, precise, and unpredictable. The leopard quietly approached the edge of the stream, where a troop of baboons held the area like it was sacred ground. A burning thirst pushed it to risk safety and step into danger. Though wary of the baboon's noisy chatter, the leopard lowered its head and took a sip of the cool water. But that peaceful moment didn't last. The entire troop spotted the intruder right away. Shrill cries erupted as they swarmed toward it, hostile and ready to strike. Outnumbered and facing aggressive resistance, the leopard had no choice but to abandon the stream and retreat into the forests, where it could hide, far from the wrath of the water's true rulers. Next up is the baboon. Across Africa's forests and wide-open savannas, baboons and leopards often cross paths in nature's harsh cycle. Baboons live in large, tightly organized groups. They always have lookouts on duty. With sharp eyesight and keen hearing, they can spot predators from far away. On the other side, the leopard is a master of stealth. It hunts alone, moving with patience and silence. Hidden in tall grass or dense leaves, it waits for one careless moment. If a young baboon strays or the group drops its guard, the leopard strikes. Clashes between the two are common, an essential part of the survival game. In this world, one small mistake can cost a life. Silent as a shadow, the leopard approaches the riverbank where a loud troop of baboons has gathered. This is clearly their territory. Driven by thirst, the leopard takes the risk, stepping into danger with extreme caution. Every move is a balance between survival instinct and looming threat. As it lowers its head to drink, the moment feels calm. But that silence is short-lived. One baboon spots the intruder and sounds the alarm. The whole troop erupts in screams, charging in full fury. Faced with the angry mob, the leopard knows it's crossed the line. It doesn't dare fight a raging group. It turns and retreats immediately. Behind it, the cool river remains, along with the echoing cries of those who won't tolerate trespassers. Like a ghost, the leopard moves through the thick grass without a sound. Each step is a perfect mix of patience and killer instinct. Up ahead, a baboon digs in the dirt, unaware of the cold eyes watching it. Just a few steps away, the leopard suddenly bolts. Its muscles tighten, launching it like an arrow through the wind. The baboon lets out one terrified cry before it's slammed to the ground. It's over in seconds. Without hesitation, the leopard holds its prey with practiced precision. Cold and focused, it finishes the hunt like a predator used to winning. In a land where only the strong survive, it quietly proves once again it rules in silence. Across the vast grasslands of the African savanna, wildebeest symbolize endurance and herd unity. Thousands move together across dry terrain, constantly searching for water and fresh grazing land. But their journey is anything but safe. Hidden in the brush or perched in the trees, leopards watch their every move. They don't rush in, they wait for the right moment. A calf straying from the herd or a weak one falling behind. Wildebeest may be fast and tough, but even a split second of carelessness can turn fatal. In a land where survival is a second-by-second battle, every encounter between predator and prey is intense, and sometimes life is decided in an instant. From a shallow, rocky den, a leopard slipped out like a shadow. Its eyes locked onto a young antelope, busy grazing, unaware of the danger behind it. The leopard crouched low, moving in total silence, then suddenly sprang forward. The calf bolted in panic, but just as the final strike was about to land, the mother charged in like a storm. Head down, sharp horns aimed, she struck hard and fast. Caught off guard, the leopard backed off, then turned and fled. Once again, a mother's fierce defense saved her young from the claws of death. Pressed against a rocky ledge, the leopard stayed perfectly still, blending into the landscape with its spotted coat. Its cold eyes tracked every move of a young wildebeest, unknowingly drifting closer. There was no rush, only patience. Then, as the calf passed by, the leopard exploded from its hiding spot like a bolt of lightning. One flawless pounce brought the prey down before it even knew what hit it. The ambush ended in seconds, leaving the leopard with a hard-earned meal won through patience and deadly precision. On the dry, dusty plains, the air was thick with tension during a high-speed chase. A leopard sprinted at incredible speed, closing in on a wildebeest running for its life. In just moments, the leopard launched a powerful pounce, slamming the prey into the dirt. Without hesitation, it went straight for the neck, the most vital spot. The wildebeest struggled, but exhaustion took over fast. The chase ended in a clean, decisive win for the skilled predator. High in the dense canopy, a leopard watched silently, eyes locked on a herd of wildebeest moving below. It spotted a calf that had strayed from the group, a perfect target. Without hesitation, the leopard launched from the tree like a shadow, diving at terrifying speed. Faced with such bold resistance, the leopard backed off and leapt back into the tree, ending the hunt empty-handed. On the vast open plains, a herd of wildebeest grazed peacefully, unaware of the danger nearby. Hidden in the thick brush, a group of leopards moved in silent, calculated, each step bringing them closer without a sound. When the moment was right, they burst out like dark arrows, sending the herd into a panic. But the coordinated attack quickly formed a deadly trap. One wildebeest, separated from the group, fought back in desperation, but it was no match. The leopard's speed and strength brought it down fast. The hunt ended in seconds, leaving the prey behind as a hard-earned meal for the hungry pack. And then there's the lion ruler of the savannah, with a thunderous roar and unmatched power. Every step shakes the ground, warning rivals and striking fear into prey. But strength alone doesn't write every legend. Are you ready to witness this quiet but intense showdown? A lion quietly tracked a lone leopard, moving slowly but steadily to close the distance and wait for the right moment. But the leopard's sharp survival instincts kicked in. It sensed the danger. The moment it locked eyes with the stalking lion, it bolted. Using its speed and agility, the leopard dashed away and climbed up a nearby tree in seconds, leaving the lion below staring up, helpless. On the vast plains of Africa, wildebeest are a common target, but far from an easy one. With strong, muscular builds, powerful legs, and impressive speed, they also move in tight, disciplined herds, always alert and ready to react. It makes them a true challenge for any predator. But the cheetah is built for this challenge. With near-instant acceleration and top speeds reaching 120 km/h, it can close the gap in seconds. Cheetahs often single out the weakest member of the herd, where even a brief moment of distraction can be fatal. Every chase between a cheetah and a wildebeest is a heart-pounding battle where speed, strategy, and survival instincts collide in a matter of seconds. In those fleeting moments, nature reveals its raw beauty, precision, and cruelty, where strength doesn't always win, but even the smallest mistake means certain defeat. Hidden in the tall grass at the edge of the savannah, a cheetah quietly watches a young wildebeest that has strayed from the herd. The calf moves carelessly, unaware that every step is being tracked by one of nature's top predators. Once the gap is close enough, the cheetah explodes forward like lightning, aiming for a quick takedown from behind. But something unexpected happens. Instead of fleeing, the young wildebeest spins around and fights back, landing sharp, powerful kicks that catch the cheetah off guard. Once again, nature reminds us, sometimes bravery and well-timed resistance can overcome even the fastest hunter on Earth. At the edge of the sun-scorched savannah, a group of cheetahs lies hidden in the tall grass, motionless, like shadows. No rush, no noise, just pure patience. Their sharp eyes lock onto a herd of grazing wildebeest, completely unaware that danger is only a few steps away. When a young calf strays from the group, it triggers the signal. One cheetah bolts out like lightning, slamming into its target with a powerful strike to the throat. The calf struggles, but it's already too late. Seconds later, the rest of the cheetahs emerge, working in sync like a flawless hunting machine, sealing off every escape route. No growls, no wasted motion. Every move is cold, precise, and instinctual. The hunt ends in eerie silence, a deadly performance in the wild, where survival is written in speed, strategy, and relentless patience. With a swift, powerful strike, the cheetah takes down a young wildebeest, clamping its throat with razor-sharp teeth, giving the calf no time to react. Almost instantly, another cheetah appears from the opposite side, closing the trap with a perfect pincer move. It seems like the end. The calf is cornered, all escape routes gone. But then something unexpected happens. Its whole body surges forward in a desperate run, every step fueled by the thinnest thread of hope. On the scorched plains of the savannah, a herd of wildebeest grazes peacefully, unaware of the danger lurking nearby. Hidden in the tall grass, a cheetah watches closely, its cold eyes locked onto a young calf that strayed from the group, distracted and vulnerable. Then, in a flash, the cheetah springs forward like a coiled spring, launching into a high-speed sprint. Within seconds, it closes the gap and strikes from behind with a lightning-fast pounce, throwing the calf off balance. Almost at the same moment, other cheetahs emerge from different directions, moving in perfect sync as if following a well-rehearsed plan. The trap tightens. Every escape route disappears. Panicked, the young wildebeest tries to flee, but it's already too late. In an instant, it's brought down by sharp claws and a fatal bite. The attack ends quickly, cold, brutal, and terrifyingly efficient. A flawless moment in the wild, where life and death are decided in just a few short seconds. Next, the wild boar, with its thick fur and sharp tusks, is a strong and stubborn animal, known for its endurance and ability to fight back when threatened. It can defend itself with powerful attacks, especially when facing predators. However, when facing the leopard, a swift and powerful predator, the wild boar will face a significant challenge. The leopard, with its ability to strike unexpectedly and its agility, can easily find the wild boar's weak spots. Despite the wild boar's strength and resilience, the leopard remains a formidable challenge in this life and death battle. From above, the leopard suddenly pounced like a living arrow, seizing the wild boar. The surprise attack left the boar stunned, but with its strong survival instincts, it immediately retaliated fiercely, using its strength and sharp tusks to fight back relentlessly, turning the hunt into a brutal confrontation between predator and prey. The leopard clamped tightly onto the wild boar's neck, forcing it down to the ground, denying the prey any chance to resist. The wild boar, in pain, desperately struggled, kicking up a cloud of dust, turning the area white. But the deep wound and its weakening strength caused it to collapse. In the end, the wild boar became the leopard's prey, an inevitable outcome in the wild world. While passing through a dense forest, the leopard inadvertently got too close to a wild boar's den. Suddenly, from the dark cave, an adult wild boar charged out with ferocity, chasing and attacking with relentless force. The violent charges and loud roars sent the leopard into a panic. Caught off guard by a strong and aggressive opponent, the leopard quickly turned and fled, disappearing into the thick foliage. It seemed the encounter was over, but what no one expected happened. A short time later, the leopard silently returned. Taking advantage of the moment when the adult boar was absent, it stealthily entered the den. With its agility and calculating hunting instincts, it carried off a weak, defenseless piglet as its prize and disappeared deep into the forest, taking the prey back to its lair. Hyenas, cunning and opportunistic predators, are among the most troublesome rivals on the African savanna. Living in tightly organized clans, they don't just hunt, they're notorious for stealing kills from other predators, especially cheetahs. The relationship between these two species has long been a tense showdown in the wild. While the cheetah is unmatched in speed, hyenas hold the upper hand in endurance, strength, and numbers. After using all its energy to take down prey like an antelope, a cheetah often has only a few short minutes to eat before a swarm of hyenas arrives like a storm. They circle, growl, and then boldly rush in to snatch the entire kill, forcing the cheetah to retreat just to survive. The clash between a lone hunter and a pack of relentless thieves is one of nature's most brutal realities, where speed, wit, and sheer bravery are tested every single moment. Under the scorching savanna sun, a cheetah lay panting beside the prey it had just brought down after an exhausting chase. But before it could enjoy the reward, danger struck. A group of hyenas suddenly appeared, quickly closing in with hungry eyes and menacing growls. They spread out, circling the cheetah, each step tightening the pressure as tension filled the air. Knowing it couldn't take on the aggressive pack alone, the cheetah hesitated only for a moment before making its choice. Despite the pain and regret, it was forced to retreat, leaving behind its hard-won kill to protect its life, not just for itself, but for its cubs hiding nearby. On the windy savanna, a group of cheetah cubs lay resting near a patch of grass, completely unaware of the danger lurking nearby. From a distance, a clever pack of hyenas had spotted them. They quickly spread out, surrounding the area from multiple directions in preparation for a surprise attack. Faint sounds in the grass and unfamiliar scents carried by the wind put the mother cheetah on high alert. Sensing the danger closing in, she didn't hesitate. With a warning growl, she charged straight toward the hyenas, ignoring the odds. With absolute bravery, she did everything to distract the enemy, trying to keep them at a safe distance to buy time for her cubs to escape. In a world where strength and weakness decide survival, a mother's love becomes an extraordinary force, stronger than teeth, claws, or numbers. First up is the hyena. In the wild, hyenas are often misunderstood as scavengers, but in reality, they're tough, organized hunters. Living in strict hierarchies, hyena packs can take down prey much larger than themselves. Their teamwork and ambush tactics are highly effective. They have incredibly strong jaws, able to crush bone, and their eerie laughter often signals that death is near. In contrast, the leopard is a silent lone predator. It doesn't attack head-on. It hides, strikes fast, then disappears. Even with its strength and hunting skill, the leopard stays cautious around hyenas, especially when alone on open ground. Clashes between these two are battles of brains and brute force. One relies on deadly silence, the other on overwhelming numbers and grit. In a world where only the adaptable survive, every leopard-hyena encounter is a fight with no room for mercy. With footsteps light as air, the leopard silently creeps toward a lone hyena. Distracted and without its pack, the hyena doesn't sense the danger. The leopard waits for the perfect moment. Then it bolts like an arrow through the wind. The powerful pounce lands hard. Its sharp teeth lock onto a vital spot. The hyena collapses after a few seconds of struggle. Wasting no time, the leopard drags the carcass up a tree. There, away from other predators, the meal becomes its private prize. A dramatic showdown unfolds on the grassland as a leopard spots a hyena trying to drag off a kill it had already marked. With superior speed and incredible agility, the leopard charges in. It strikes with its claws and lands a direct hit. Stunned by the fierce attack, the hyena retreats, leaving the carcass behind. Wasting no time, the leopard grabs the prey and climbs up a tall tree. Below, the hyena watches in shock, powerless to take back what was just stolen by a faster, bolder rival. With its prey clamped in its jaws, the leopard quickly drags the kill away. But it doesn't get far before two aggressive hyenas spot it. Fast and reckless as always, they charge in hard. The leopard has to drop the kill to save itself. Outnumbered, it retreats into the bushes. But a predator's instinct doesn't give up easily. When the hyenas let their guard down, the leopard suddenly returns to reclaim its meal. The hyenas react fast. They snarl and chase the leopard deep into the forest. They guard the stolen prize fiercely, sending a clear message. In this harsh land, there's no room for hesitation or weakness. While patrolling its usual hunting grounds, the leopard spots a brown hyena quietly entering its territory. Without hesitation, it charges forward at lightning speed, growling in warning. And the leopard just proved it will defend its land at all costs. On the dry grassland, the African wild dog, with its intelligent hunting tactics and exceptional pack coordination, is a formidable predator. However, when facing the leopard, a swift and cunning predator, they encounter a significant challenge. The leopard, with its superb attacking skills, can easily dodge the wild dog's attacks, making them cautious. Despite the wild dog's numbers, the leopard remains an extremely dangerous opponent. The pack of African wild dogs suddenly charged, attacking the leopard from all sides. Surrounded and alone, the leopard used all its strength to resist in desperate defense. One wild dog unexpectedly bit into its belly, causing excruciating pain as the leopard writhed in agony. Though its body bled and pain spread throughout, the leopard remained resilient, refusing to fall. After a breathless struggle, it found a gap and quickly leapt out of the trap, barely escaping with its life. On the edge of the forest, the leopard was suddenly attacked by a pack of African wild dogs. Although overwhelmed by their numbers, it courageously fought back with determination. In the struggle, the leopard seized the opportunity to land a deadly blow, taking down one of the wild dogs, before immediately leaping up into the tall trees to escape. The brief battle ended with both loss and the sharp survival instincts of the solitary predator. As the first light of day spreads across the African savanna, black and white stripes move in sync through the endless sea of grass. Zebras, icons of the wild, stand out not just for their looks, but for their fierce survival instincts. They live in close kit herds, always ready to defend one another from danger. But even unity has its limits, especially when the threat is nature's speedmaster. Hiding in the tall grass is the cheetah, the fastest predator on the planet. It doesn't need brute strength. Just one moment, one burst, one strike, and it's over in seconds. The cheetah hunts not with power, but with precision, speed, and a killer instinct shaped by millions of years of evolution. Today, its eyes are locked on a young zebra that's wandered too far from the group. This isn't just a chase, it's a showdown between speed and grit, between instinct and defiance. On one side, a cold-blooded hunter. On the other, prey that refuses to give in. Can the zebra escape with quick thinking and raw determination? Or will it fall to a perfect predator? Don't look away. This fight isn't just about strong versus weak. It's nature telling its story with speed, violence, and moments you'll never see coming. Under the blazing sun of the savanna, a coalition of cheetahs moves like living arrows, working in perfect sync to corner a zebra desperately trying to escape. They fan out, closing in from every direction, leaving the prey with no way out. The zebra fights back fiercely, but against the cheetah's speed and calculated ambush, it doesn't stand a chance. In seconds, claws and sharp teeth sink deep into its body. The cheetahs begin tearing into their hard-earned prize, the scent of blood mixing with the dust in the air. Another brutal victory for the fastest predators on Earth. Chaos erupts on the savanna as the zebra herd bolts in panic. The cheetahs have launched a surprise attack from behind. In the thick cloud of dust, a young zebra falls behind, instantly catching the attention of the fastest predators on Earth. The cheetahs close in like living arrows, covering the distance in seconds. One perfect strike, and the young zebra goes down, with no chance to fight back. Sharp claws and raw power finish the job quickly. The chase is over in moments, and the exhausted cheetahs begin their bloody feast. In this unforgiving land, even a split-second mistake can cost a life. With a lightning-fast pounce, the cheetah grabs the young zebra and slams it to the ground. Without hesitation, the mother charges in, ramming the predator with her body, trying to push it off her baby. After several desperate hits, the cheetah is forced to let go. The injured foal, trembling and bleeding, manages to stand and stumble away. For a moment, it feels like a miracle, like it just escaped death. But the cheetah isn't done. Locked in on its target, it quickly picks up the trail and closes the gap in seconds. One final leap, and this time, there's no escape. The chase ends in heartbreak, another harsh reminder of how brutal nature can be. On the scorched savanna, a group of cheetahs races forward like living arrows, locked onto a single target, a young zebra that just broke away from the herd. The mother immediately turns back, chasing after them with everything she's got, determined to protect her baby at all costs. Other adult zebras join the chase, forming a desperate defensive line. But the cheetahs won't be stopped. With incredible speed, they weave through every gap, never losing focus. In nature, a mother's love can spark hope, but sometimes even that isn't enough to fight the brutal law of the wild. In the heart of the sun-scorched African savanna, where survival is a daily battle, lives one of the most strategic predators of all, the African wild dog. It may not look impressive at first glance, but don't be fooled. Those big ears, mottled fur, and relentless stride mark one of the most efficient hunters on the continent. Unlike the lone hunting cheetah, famous for its speed and sudden strikes, African wild dogs hunt in packs, moving with perfect coordination. Every hunt is a display of strategy. They assign roles, cut off escape routes, surround their target, and keep chasing until it collapses from exhaustion. Even cheetahs think twice before crossing paths with these fierce pack hunters. More than once, cheetahs have brought down prey, only to back off as the wild dogs move in and claim the meal. This rivalry between two top predators is a raw example of how brutal and complex the food chain really is. Out here, survival isn't just about speed or strength. It's about patience, teamwork, and sometimes sheer numbers. Watch closely to see how African wild dogs can push even the fastest hunter on Earth to retreat. On the vast savanna, as a herd of wildebeest peacefully grazes, a lone cheetah waits silently in the tall grass. Its sharp eyes lock onto a young calf that strayed from the group. Suddenly, like a spring unleashed, the cheetah bursts out at incredible speed. Within seconds, it closes the gap and lands a precise strike from behind, knocking the calf to the ground. Moments later, other cheetahs from the group emerge from different directions, working together to finish the job. Surrounded with no escape, the young wildebeest stands no chance. The hunt ends swiftly, a cold, calculated victory for the savanna's fastest predators. Three cheetahs are enjoying their hard-earned meal after a high-speed, precision hunt. But the moment doesn't last. From a distance, a pack of African wild dogs begins to close in, quiet and ghost-like across the savanna. They quickly surround the scene, eyes locked on the still-breathing prey. Outnumbered and outmatched, the cheetahs are forced to retreat, watching helplessly as their kill is taken. Once again, nature delivers a harsh reminder. Out here, being the strongest doesn't always mean you get the last bite. It starts with the crocodile, a master ambush predator in the swamps and rivers of Africa. With a lightning-fast snap and razor-sharp teeth, it hides beneath still water, patiently waiting for the unlucky to get close before striking in an instant. In contrast, the cheetah is the land's speed assassin, known for rapid ambushes on antelope or zebras, especially when prey nears the riverbanks. But it's at the edge of water and land where the crocodile becomes a true nightmare. Many times, the cheetah brings down a young antelope, seemingly claiming victory. Yet in a single careless moment, a crocodile emerges from the water like a ghost, stealing the prize in a burst of splashing water. Both are elite predators, but in the realm of water, where speed loses its edge, the cheetah is forced to yield. Because just one small mistake in what looks like peaceful water can cost its very life. While bending down to drink at the riverbank, the cheetah was completely unaware of the danger lurking just beneath the still surface. In a sudden moment, the river exploded as a giant crocodile burst out like a living nightmare, delivering a powerful snap that clamped down on the cheetah's body. Water splashed and panicked growls echoed through the quiet surroundings. The cheetah struggled in vain, but the strength and steel jaws of the ambushed predator gave it no chance. Within seconds, the cheetah was dragged into the murky water, vanishing from the dry land where speed once made it king. The river returned to calm as if nothing had happened, but beneath the surface lay a brutal, unexpected end for the planet's fastest animal, a silent death under the cold claws of a killer from the shadows. Buffaloes are the tough warriors of the African savanna, known for their massive build, curved horns like steel shields, and unshakable herd unity. When threatened, the entire herd is ready to turn and fight back, creating fierce clashes that even the most ferocious predators think twice about. But the leopard is a silent hunter of the forest shadows, never one to give up easily. It avoids direct confrontation, instead stalking patiently and striking at the perfect moment. When a calf gets separated or shows weakness, that's when the leopard makes its move. Despite being much smaller, it can take down its prey with a deadly bite to the throat, then silently drag the carcass up a tree, out of reach of stronger rivals. On one side, there's brute strength and unbreakable unity. On the other, stealth, agility, and chilling precision. The battle between buffalo and leopard is a raw, majestic display of the wild's harsh reality. The leopard quietly moved closer to the buffalo herd, its sharp eye standing alone on the outer edge. It crouched low to the ground, muscles tensed, ready to strike. But a faint sound shattered the silence, and in that instant the entire herd sensed danger. The adult buffaloes reacted immediately, charging in with horns pointed forward, full of protective fury. Caught off guard, the leopard had no choice but to leap onto a nearby tree and climb swiftly upward, escaping the stampede by a narrow margin. On a low branch in the middle of the open grasslands, the leopard lay still, cleverly hidden behind dense leaves. Below, a herd of buffalo surrounded the tree, growling in alert after spotting the predator that had tried to ambush one of their calves. From above, the leopard watched every movement, waiting for the slightest chance to escape. Without hesitation, the leopard sprang from the branch, gliding through the opening like a breeze, vanishing into the forest before any buffalo could even turn around. Hidden in thick grass, the leopard patiently watched the buffalo herd grazing nearby. Its cold, sharp eyes locked onto a lone calf standing on the edge of the group. A perfect target. Waiting in silence, it inched forward, ready for a lightning-fast strike. But at that very moment, the herd's instincts kicked in. An adult buffalo suddenly charged, horns lowered, darting like a spear toward the predator. Caught off guard, the leopard sprang up in panic and bolted into the bushes to escape. The ambush ended as quickly as it began, foiled in an instant by the alertness and powerful retaliation of its prey. Across the vast African savanna, the gazelle stands as a symbol of grace and alertness. With a slender body, long legs, and incredible speed, it's a master of quick escapes. But here survival is never easy. The predator lies in wait, the cheetah, the king of speed. As sunlight filters through the grass, the showdown begins. The cheetah, with its spotted coat and sharp eyes, tracks every movement of its prey. In the decisive moment, it unleashes its power, reaching speeds of up to 100 km/h, launching toward the gazelle like a living arrow. The chase between life and death lasts only seconds, but it leaves a lasting mark on the wild story of survival. Under the midday sun on the savanna, a herd of gazelles grazed peacefully, unaware that a pair of cold eyes was tracking their every step. Hidden in the tall grass, a cheetah watched patiently, waiting for the right moment. When it spotted a lone gazelle separated from the herd, its hunting instinct kicked in. Without hesitation, the cheetah sprang forward with lightning speed. Using smart tactics, it flanked the prey from two sides, startling the gazelle into a panicked run. But against the unmatched speed of the fastest predator on Earth, every attempt to escape was useless. In seconds, the cheetah closed the gap, launched a final pounce, and sank its sharp teeth into the gazelle's neck, holding tight until it collapsed. With no time to fight back, the gazelle became the next meal in the brutal survival game of the African grasslands. On the sunlit savanna, a group of young gazelles was busy grazing, completely unaware of the danger silently closing in. From a distance, a cheetah crept forward, its cold eyes locked on the target. Suddenly, it burst forward like lightning, aiming straight at a young gazelle on the edge of the herd. In the chaos, the small gazelle was struck and thrown to the ground. Under the predator's sharp claws and overwhelming strength, it had almost no chance to resist. Without hesitation, the cheetah delivered a series of fatal bites. In seconds, the prey collapsed. Then it grabbed the kill and carried it back to the den, sharing the prize with other cheetahs in the group. The hunt ended silently and ruthlessly, where weakness means death and a single moment of distraction can cost a life.